Hello everyone, I am Arthur. This video features a review of Simona. But before we start, I would like to thank everyone for their support and encouragement, which has motivated me to continue updating the international server. I will share what I know as much as possible, and I wish you all smooth and enjoyable gaming. Thank you again for your support. In this video, I will divide the content into 3 stages. 1. Introduction. Quickly acquaint you with this character's traits, strengths, and weaknesses. 2. Skill discussion. Conduct a more detailed analysis and discussion of her abilities. 3. Additional information about equipment, tarot, or some supplementary explanations. Let's get started. Simona is a highly strategic Watcher Mage with the highest speed in the game, before Xavier reaches level 55. This means she can deploy many strategic moves on the battlefield first. For example, shielding allies, increasing physical damage resistance, preemptive strikes, area knockbacks, and terrain alteration, among others. Moreover, although she is a mage, her own shield, combined with her skills that offer high damage reduction, actually allows her to serve as a tank, especially when she reaches 3 stars, where a shield is generated before each action, significantly increasing her survivability. Her downside is her lower range and damage output. Her highest damage skill is basic attack, with a multiplier of 140%, but it comes with conditions. It must target enemies on ice or those with reduced mobility, otherwise, it's only 110%, and range is only 1, making her more akin to a melee character rather than a ranged one. Despite these drawbacks, Simona is overall very practical. Having her on your team makes climbing the Tower of Conquest easier, not to mention the advantages her ultimate can bring on the battlefield and in PvP. She is useful from 1 star, but she sees significant improvements at 3 and 5 stars. If you like Simona, I recommend upgrading her to at least 3 stars. As a character with high strategic value, Simona has many practical skills. Before level 45, she primarily relies on her innate skill, Ice Lance, for output, which only requires 1 energy point yet offers a 130% multiplier, making it a solid single target skill. Both sides of the first-tier skills are worth learning, but I recommend the left side, Icy Blast, which can easily knock down some of the powerful enemies in the Tower of Conquest by just knocking them back, and it also has an area effect. The right side, Ice Cone, besides having area damage, is more often used to control positioning. In narrow terrains, you will see its excellent effect. Here's a tip about icy terrain. It not only reduces mobility but also has a sliding effect. Enemies on ice, when knocked back, do not start counting the knockback distance until they leave the ice, making it easier to clear levels by using it strategically. The 3rd tier left, Ice Assault, is, in my opinion, a very important skill. Besides adding some damage, it also allows Simona to gain the Warrior of Frost buff, significantly increasing her tankiness. Moreover, it can cross obstacles, whether they are objects, enemies, or even cliffs. It's very practical. The right side is also a core skill, which besides providing the team with shields, also adds a regeneration buff. I recommend using Castalia to activate the skill, but if only one could be chosen, I would prioritize Ice Assault. Tier 5, Ice Shards, is Simona's signature ability, striking a perfect balance between stylish appearance and functionality by reducing enemies' mobility by 3, essentially crippling them. The right option, Ice Sanctuary, is crucial, especially when Simona engages in frontline combat, greatly enhancing her survivability. Note, it activates only when enemies are afflicted with a mobility reduction debuff. The typical combo would be, use Ice Assault to gain the Warrior of Frost buff, then cast Icy Blast to attack and apply a mobility debuff, enabling Ice Sanctuary for significant damage mitigation. The choice here depends on your playstyle or team composition. If Simona usually acts as a backline strategist, the left side may suit you better. Tier 7. The skills in this tier are seldom carried, but they can occasionally be useful. Flash Freezing is a decent crowd control skill, rendering the targeted enemy almost immobile, and it can even freeze them if conditions are met. However, once you reach level 55 and have access to your ultimate, this skill is unlikely to be used again. Therefore, for this tier, I recommend the right side's, the Union Aura, especially if you do not have Gloria. Tier 9. The basic attack on the left becomes her core offensive move, reaching peak effectiveness when enemies are on ice or slowed. Notably, this attack and Ice Lance can extend their range with the Focus Wand, though it renders Simona vulnerable and unfit for frontline duties. The right side is generally unused. Tier 11. Her ultimate offers immense tactical value by encasing enemies in ice, with the created ice blocks also drawing attacks from other foes. It effectively establishes barriers on a vast icy terrain, drastically restricting movement for both enemies and allies alike. Choose your team composition wisely. The ultimate is essentially the go-to choice for this tier. The skill Will to Survive on the right could have been a formidable defensive tool if it activated immediately upon nearing death. But it doesn't. Each tier and skill choice should be tailored to fit the dynamics of your specific team and preferences. Weapon section. I recommend the Starry Sky Heritage, the simplest and most user-friendly weapon, with very decent capabilities. Although the Focus Wand can increase Simona's range and significantly enhance her single target ability, she often needs to fight on the front lines. Unless in the later stages with high stars and her shield can prevent enemies from breaking through, the Focus Wand is not recommended. Trinket recommendations: Disaster Bottle and Old Scrolls of Auguste, high speed and initial debuffs on enemies, as well as providing speed boosts to allies, are advantageous for a smoother battle strategy. Gear engraving recommendation: Wand plus Cup. You will notice that Simona's skills have high cooldown times, thus this combination is most beneficial for her, and since the ultimate needs 1 round to cool down initially, activate Engraving Resonance in the second round to use the ultimate, which will reset all cooldowns and energy, allowing for another ultimate in the third round. Tarot recommendation: Magician, a good choice for area attacks. Devil, for a 5-star Simona, when she has a shield, her attack and defense attributes increase by up to 25%. Combined with the capabilities of the Devil Tarot, once fully stacked, she becomes a representative of the first generation with super high capabilities, excelling in both offense and defense. Final note on Summoning Pool: according to the sequence of character releases, the next character is likely to be Sophia, who is a future advantageous character in the Tower of Adversity and is highly recommended to acquire. Considering that players without or with minimal spending hope luck sites have limited resources, you might need a longer-term plan for character summons. Please take this information into consideration. I will also be making a review for Sophia next. That's all for this video, and I hope it helps. Additionally, please excuse any errors in skill descriptions due to translation, and forgive any misunderstandings or unclear meanings. I am Arthur, thank you for watching, and see you next time.